sunshine. Oh my god, it's actually really bright in my eyes now. I was like, the light is good, I need to record. And now it's like reflecting off someone else's window straight in my face. I'm not even sure if I look healthy. Hey there, my name is Mimi. I record my podcast about knitting, crafting, mending, well, and this here community, and I share it over on YouTube. I have an Instagram account called beep beep at Leapwed, and Yarnchix podcast also has its own Instagram account. I'm super happy. I've just kind of spontaneously decided to record as there is daylight and I'm home, and actually there's even sunshine and I'm home. I've spent the morning crafting for a special Christmas event, and I will share about that in the next podcast because I haven't finished. I'm like mid-process and nothing is looking like it's finished. Yeah, you would have had a little bit of a visual glimpse of what's to come in this episode. I give myself about half an hour to record. As I said before, my name is Mimi. I am a mother of 3 kids. That's also why I started the Magic 3 make-along, because I think 3 is a magical number. And in that make-along, we craft sets of 3. We make a top, bottoms, and a toy as a set. Sometimes it's an accessory, and sometimes the bottoms are a blanket or socks, or we're super creative in the way we interpret these 3 items. And then there's a flat lay that then gets photographed, so you can pop it all on the table, stand on your chair, take a picture down, And yeah, by sharing a flat lay like this of a set of 3 items for a small person in your life, or in the life of a friend or a relative, or, you know, anyone really who you want to gift these things to, yeah, you recraft these items, take a flat lay photograph and share it on Instagram. You can also send me it via email. I'm happy to do it offline, off the socials. Just let me know, like contact me here and I'll be in touch. And then you qualify for some prizes. I've got 1 delivery of something that I need to unbox, so I'm very happy that that's here, so I can unbox that. There's another thing coming from Norway that has not yet arrived. Maybe it'll arrive mid-filming and then I can also unbox that. And someone else is sending something from France, so there is lots of treats. Like I've already shared about some generous presents that are going into this price box in the last couple of episodes, so feel free to go back also to check what I've been crafting on. I have 1 whip that's for Magic 3 Man. I have 1 finished object, and so that's what I'm going to talk about. It's not much, but it's a little thing, and I'm always very chatty about all of the kind of community events and all my projects, so I hope it's going to keep us busy. Oh, actually I've got 2 whips. So you will see 1 FO and 2 whips, and I will draw a tarot card, so that's that. And then the knit reportage is a little bit of unboxing at the very end. I have a finished object and I cannot believe it. Look at this. I already did this in the last episode and I had to go all the way back here, so I'll do that again to try and stand on top of these pillows and try and spread out. It's probably not in the frame anymore. It's huge. And look, this is if I hold it that way. And this is if I hold it this way. Last but not least, this way around. It's massive! I finished my STASHVENT project from 2021 unbelievably. The middle stripes, so kind of the wide stripes that go all the way diagonally across this blanket, they were all like stash yarns. And I have to admit, I couldn't find my basket with the like little end bits that I still had saved from my STASHVENT that Frauke had sent me in 2021, and then I did find it, so I cast off. Where's the cast off? I cast off with one of the first things Frauke had sent me, and this also, the turquoise, and yeah, and the rest was more like stash yarns. Oh, this grey was also hers, and this green was actually the 24th STASHVENT present that I got from Frauke. STASHVENT is the community swap that I host for countdown calendars, so at the end of the year in December there's several celebrations and people craft a calendar, like a countdown calendar, personalized for a person that I have kind of drawn for them. So I draw numbers out of a hat. And then I've kind of, it's not pairing people because you send to someone and they send to someone else, so it's kind of like a round swap. And the personalized calendars are made from stash, and so you make mini skeins or mini yarn balls or like small amounts of fabrics, and you wrap them up and you make a countdown calendar for said person's occasion. So we have winter solstice, we have Christmas, we have Hanukkah, we have New Year's Eve this time, so I'm very excited. There is 52, or I think 53 swappies, including me, so I'm very excited. And mail is going backwards and forwards currently, so hopefully everybody has their calendars ready to start when we start. The first day is 1st of December for some, others have the 10th or the 16th. So we'll have to, fingers crossed, everything arrives. This arrived with me last year, and the cast on and all that I knitted kind of in the first few stripes is all this STASHVENT calendar. So a countdown calendar made from plant-dyed yarns and bits and bobs like yarn ends that Frauke had collected for me, and there's some Gotland. I really loved all the kind of mixture of natural yarns like this lopi, like a thicker yarn, and then thinner yarns like this sock yarn, or she even sent me some very thin kind of lace weight, which I held double with the sock yarn. And yeah, generally in a blanket like this, it doesn't really matter what yarn weight you have, or at least I don't think it matters. I think this is a really successful hodgepodge yarn weight blanket. It's the Habitation Throw, a pattern by Helen Stewart, a Curious Handmade on Instagram. And I just followed the color code that Frauke had kind of set. So, you know, I showed you there was like pinks and turquoise and a lot of natural grays and stuff. So when it got wider, I stayed with like purples, pinks and turquoisey or petrol colors. I added a bit of orange or this gold, and I just let my stash kind of happen. And then I started adding some of the minis that she had sent. I really enjoyed kind of adding blue to it. I think there wasn't any blue. Well, there is actually blue, but yeah, so there's all these colors, and now I've been sleeping under it because it's really cold in Berlin. We had snow this morning, so I think it's amazing that now, after almost a year, just like 10 days short of the year cast on anniversary, I don't know if that's what you call it, but yeah, I finished. I'm gonna fold it up because I love how it looks folded up, and then I'm gonna share some of the fun footage I took today. My kittens love our high bed, so we sleep kind of above my head here, and they when I made the bed, they decided that that was like my that I asked them to play on the bed, so they kind of jumped into my filming, and it's kind of funny, they're all tumbling all over my freshly made kind of bed. I'm not a professional bed making person, and we definitely don't have like matching bed sheets and stuff. It's all very hodgepodge, flea market-y, hand-me-downs, so please excuse that it's not like picture perfect, but I tried. I definitely tried with this blanket. I'm pleased as punch. I mean, I'm like so delighted that I made this kind of woolly, and I love how it goes from like natural like halo fibers to flatter sock fibers and some superwash, and then I had a mini that was a gift from my friend Kitzgan, Nora. Well, she owns the brand Kitzgan, and we had drawn each other's names in our annual work swap at Wollen, and so when I received the mini from Nora, I kind of bound it and knitted it in. So yeah, I'm pleased as always. You know, a finished object means you're kind of freshly in love. You're like pleased to have it. You feel like you've got that achievement, but also it's like, it's a bit self-congratulatory. I don't know how you say that word. You kind of feel so happy about your own skill and that you managed to make this, that you're just like, be me happy. So yeah, I'm glad I managed to film a little kind of how it lives on my bed now, and that my kittens tumbled into the pictures. So I promised you 2 works in progress. Well, this year I have joined the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West again, and the project lives in this really cool bento bag that my friend Alice gave me, and I chose, funnily, oops, sorry, tissue. I had chosen colors that kind of, you know, matched the project bag. I have got clue 1, clue 2, and the beginnings of clue 3 here. So this is the kind of long, what do you call it? Like, it's like one side of a mustache that is knitted in these kind of twisted stitch pattern. I used the Streusel base by Prue Yarns, and she dyed it with her Brause colorway, this purple. I think the camera doesn't really show how fun this is, because Streusel is basically like a zebra yarn, and then over it you have these kind of twisted stitch waves. In our autumn break, we traveled south to my family's place, like where my mum lives. We went by Flixtrain, which is like a privatized train. It's a bit cheaper than going by Deutsche Bahn. And one journey was one of the tails and the other journey was the other one. And I mean, obviously I also had knitted on it before and knitted on it a little bit whilst I was there, but I'm glad I stuck it out, because I came to about like the first part of the wave and I was like, oh, I'm really not enjoying that. But by the time I'd finished the first and then started the other, I actually really enjoyed it, because it was very repetitive and I'd learned it off by heart. So duh. Sometimes a hard thing does get easier with time. So that is clue 3, the beginning, and then the other part of clue 3 is these bits. I just made lots of I-cords, and as this color is very color intensive, it was bleeding a little when I blocked the moustache tails. So I wanted to make sure I block this before weaving these 10 I-cord tails. They will be woven into these wide cables. I'm gonna try and do that today, and maybe I can take some pictures of that so that I can share what it looks like afterwards. But then that is clue 3 finished, and I have to get going on clue 4. Hey, today is the 17th of November, so I'm embracing my pace. You know, who cares about deadlines or timings? It's definitely beyond the mystery knit along, so without having to add spoiler warning, so that's much easier. So check out my mystery knit along. It's called the Twist and Turns MKal, or mystery shawl, and it's by Stephen West. It is a lot of fun. So I need to say one thing, admittingly. It is always fun to knit Stephen West patterns, and I love like mystery knit along because it's like, you know, an adventy kind of thing, or a surprise. It is a surprise bag, so every week you get a surprise and it's kind of exciting. This time the only thing I would say is you know, having to do everything once and then twice is quite demanding on the patience levels. I know patience is gold, and it's worth, you know, it's worth it in the end. It's a funky shape because I've seen, you know, how it carries on. Obviously we have to fill in this void here to make it a long shawl, and then there's more stuff happening here at the bottom, which you don't necessarily have to do that. I already heard someone who just kind of added the contrast color and then an I-cord bind off, so I'm gonna kind of just plow on and see how I feel. But it is a bit of a task doing everything twice. It's a very symmetric occasion, and yeah, it's texture joy. Like, this was so much fun to make. This is my first whip, the Twist and Turns Mystery Knit Along, and here comes my second. Put this aside. It is for the Magic 3 Make Along, and I'm making a magically third, another Stephen West pattern, the third Pinguano. This time it's a pengweeno, so it's a miniature version. I set out to make it for size 3 to 4 year olds. Then I decided it'll be a size 10-year-old. Now it might be a size 43-year-old. I don't know. I find it difficult to part with things when I knit them, and I start enjoying the way they look. So I might be keeping this one, but it will, however, still feature as a Magic 3 thing, because that's how I started out, and that's, you know, the set that I planned. So I'm gonna like keep it as part of that set, and we'll have to see. Last night I finished this part of the sleeve, so I've started shoulder 1. The other side hasn't got the shoulder yet, and I did the moss stitch kind of add in for the sleeve. And now usually you would make like a t-shirt shaped sleeve with a cast off. I think I'm gonna just keep it like, let me try it on. I might want it like this, you know, like a funky vest with this kind of 80s style shoulder thing, so I can wear it over dresses or long sleeve tops, but without the sleeve coming halfway down the arm. I'm going to show you why, because with the Pinguano I made for myself, first of all, I'm sorry, I'm rushing ahead. Let me show you all of this glorious thing. So this is the back with the 2 welt sides. This is the underarm and the sleeve, and then the front number 1, and then on the other side the welts, the underarm and the front. Just love these pops of neon and purple, pinks and greens. This is kind of a playful color combo, and I've put all the stitches on hold. At the fronts there's more stuff gonna happen there later on, and yeah, I love this particular spot of it so much that I'm thinking I might not want to share it, and decided I might enjoy a different sleeve, because I have got a Pinguano that I made for myself, and I have actually knitted the sleeves to a 3/4 length here. So they were meant to finish about here, kind of sleeve-ish, t-shirt sleeve, and I made them 3/4 length. But it's still not a coat. Like, I didn't make them full length. Why? I don't know. And I didn't keep them like a t-shirt. So it's this kind of halfway sleeve, I actually think like a wet. This is much smaller than the one I'm wearing. So if I had it without any sleeve, almost like, you know, the shape of it would be like this, which is very kind of 80s, 90s waistcoat shape, you know, with kind of bigger shoulders and, you know, defining the hip kind of shape. I can't describe it. You will have to wait and see if that's what I actually decide to keep it as. But I feel I might do that. This one, I added lots of different colors. You can tell, like, it's much more colorful. Although that one is colorful, it's more pastel-y. And it's a bit heavy because I used quite a lot of superwash, or I marled like 3 to 4 strands of sock yarn. And here I've kept to using unspun yarns or loosely spun yarns. I'm calling it my Beroa, which is a Rosa Poma yarn, actually one of my favorite yarns in this world, and my Beroa Pinguano. And recently we started having this De Lana Rustica, which is a Spanish, very rustic, also only slightly spun yarn in the shop, which blooms beautifully. And they come in these funky cigars, so you're kind of knitting off the top of this. It's just so much fun to knit with this shape, and it is super soft and it will bloom fantastically. It's what we are stocking in the shop instead of Lopi, because Lopi is hard to get in Europe at the moment. And yeah, I really enjoyed working with this yarn, so I will maybe this winter knit a Lopi sweater from the De Lana Rustica, and I will definitely use it for the second sleeve and maybe this bottom thing. I still have in my bag that holds all the yarns, I still have some Beroa left. I've got these 3 colors of Beroa that I will add, and I'm gonna add some fluffy Kitscan. And I've got this really sweet, it's gorgeous, it's a berry mohair silk mohair from Japan that I was gifted by my friend Jacqueline. It's called Saika, and the yarn company is Hasegawa, made in Japan. So it's a Japanese silk mohair, which, you know, the color is just like, I added it to this shoulder to make it a very dense fabric. I'm adding some Abenaya, this brown Abenaya, and Bob Radlos Janine Kamin Yippie yarn. So these are all the colors. Oh, and I have a plant dyed Southdown yarns, and it's dyed for me and was a gift from Lisa Erika Eccles. I really love this color. It will go super well with, yes, it'll be so nice to carry on working on that Pinguano. Maybe I'll work on it whilst wearing this. And it will be in a set with some sewn pants, Wixen harem pants, which I still need to brave the sewing machine for. I've recently sewed some things on my sewing machine successfully, so I'm getting there. Later on I'm going to a sewing shop to get some fabrics for a friend. I'm going to get some sewing threads, so maybe this weekend I'll sew something for myself. And I'm trying to kind of ease my way in. Maybe I'll treat myself to some linen from work for these harem pants, or I'm gonna just check if I've got some. I've got lots of fabrics in stash, but there's a linen delivery hitting the shop soon, so I'm very excited to maybe shop fabrics. Yeah. God, when I look at it, just these colors, just look at this. Marling and mustard. Oh joy. Oh joy, Marling and mustache. I've just actually made a really tiny little yarn ball from my Big Little Yarn Co. yarn that I bought. It's like a sock set that I bought, God, at some point last year when I was like feeling like a treat and treated myself to these really cool, so nice and speckly, and I've run out of the speckles. I started this as like an ancient scrap that I've had for forever that I've finally used the last bit of. I actually used it in these, no, this is actually the same yarn that I used for the back. Yeah, so I'm kind of echoing the colors of this, or you know, the Berrois. This Berrois is, and this is also Berrois. So I did start using Berrois a lot in this project, but some of it, like these pinks for example, are really solid yarns, and it does make for quite a heavy coat. I don't feel it's as heavy as I make it out in my head to be, but I just don't wear it out, and maybe my idea was making it this kind of 80s kind of hip defining kind of waistcoaty top will be fun. So I'm using the Pengweeno pattern to make something for me, which is hilarious because the first Pinguano I made was pre-Pengweeno, so Stephen West hadn't published his kind of small person sized Pinguano. So I used the Pinguano pattern and made it all very much smaller for my child at the time. And it works like a bolero for me. I really like it actually. And yeah, now I'm doing the opposite. I'm like using the Pengweeno size pattern to make something for myself, which is very fitted. Oh, full circle, some people say. Let me just ponder if there's anything else I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I'm just looking over here. I have a mini skein that is going out. Maybe I would have hit publish on it. It's going out as the Yarnchix letter to my Patreon. So thank you so much for subscribing. If you're one of the Patreons supporting me in the Yarnchix letter tier, you've got mail coming your way. Yay! I always love sending out things. This is a mini zine. Maybe you can tell it's like, it's a 6, so it's smaller than my usually zines, and it's called Mini Skein Mini Zine, and it was a collaborative creation, or kind of I made it to order for my friend Nora, who owns Kitskan, because she made a calendar. So here it's like from Liebred by Liebred for Kitskan, and she generously said, yeah, well, you've done all the research, just share it in your shop. So I'm selling them now from now on in my Etsy shop. And it's a letter to the reader, and then a whole list of project suggestions and ideas to do with mini skein projects. So using up scraps, using up bits and bobs from your collection of stash yarns, but also for using to make from countdown calendars, like the STASHVENT calendars, or like the Kitskan hand-dyed advent calendar that my friend Nora sells. So she kind of had it as a little goodie by the side to give her customers, you know, a glimpse, some ideas. And I made a list of shawls, cowls, scarves, socks or accessories, toys and blankets. So there's a whole bunch of projects. I also printed the cover. I really love this cover. And there is some kind of photocopied knit stitches. This is actually the Cozy Memory blanket, a little swatch that I made for the West Knits Mystery Knit Along 2021 that I joined last year, and I kind of photocopied this little, so it's kind of fun to see the photocopy and the project. And there's much more like visual glimpses as well of things that I think would be fun to make from mini skeins. So this is now up in the shop, and all my Patreon subscribers should have it in the letterbox. I think it takes a bit longer overseas, so be patient, but my local German and maybe nearby-ish European friends will have this very, very, very quickly. Yeah, I loved making it. I kind of loved themed zines, a bit like the mending zine that I did. I'm working on my next zine, which is going to be published day by day digitally, and then as a like hardback to be ordered for the end of the year. So I decided to do like a New Year's Eve countdown calendar. So we will have December 1st, the first page, and I will have an email list, and you can subscribe, and then you can get the zine pages by email. And you can also order it as a paper issue at the end of the year or early 2023. I've printed the cover, Riso print cover, and I really enjoy it. So I think I had a good idea for what's going in it, and I'm kind of already preparing it as you do for these kind of things where you have different pages coming. So I hope you enjoy that. And I hope you enjoyed my podcast episode 57 today. I will end on a tarot knit oracle, as I always do. And then the knit reportage will be some unboxing, so you can stay around if you're nosy about both, like the tarot knit oracle and the knit reportage. Some magic 3-mile prizes arriving in my home. Okay, and then the camera cut out. I recorded on Friday, which was the 18th, and now it's the 20th of November, it's Sunday. I charged the camera, but I had to work yesterday. Saturday was a really busy day in the shop, so I didn't manage to record in the morning or in the evening. So I thought I'd hop back on here to say goodbye properly, first of all. And also then to unbox the parcel I've had. I still haven't had a parcel from Norway. I'm really sorry, I hope it's just delayed, and I was going to unbox that alongside something that I got locally from Germany. And then I'm going to share a tarot knit oracle all about the mail magic. I was going to ask, is everything going to go all right with the STASHVENT mail this year? Because I'm going straight in. So this is the knit reportage bit. I might have edited it in after the Tarot Knit Oracle. But yeah, so the Tarot Knit Oracle question, let's do that. I'm going to show that now. For anyone who's not interested in STASHVENT or my Tarot Knit Oracle, I say have a really great day. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you're well and your crafting is going smoothly. Yeah, and then I will answer the question, is everything going to be alright with STASHVENT Mail this year, 2022? So I asked that question, and now I'm editing. Anyway, that was entirely because my friend Casey, one of the lovely swappies from our STASHVENT swap, has sent me this, which is a parcel of mini skeins. Because every year we both wind extra mini skeins in order to cover up any DHL, Hermes, oh god, I don't want to mention them all, DPD, and if any of the mail gets lost, we've got you covered. We've got an extra STASHVENT calendar, and this year, if all goes smoothly, which depending on our luck, and with the support of the Knit Tarot Oracle, hopefully it will happen. And we've got one STASHVENT calendar to give away. You can message in the comments below if you're interested, because you haven't managed to swap and or you didn't register, you didn't find out on time, you want it sent to you, and then we can have a giveaway of the STASHVENT. That is, fingers crossed. So I'm not going to show you any of the treats in here. I'm going to just show you the little card from Casey, who loves STASHVENT as much as me, and so we kind of cover up any hiccups together. So I'm going to wind some minis after the unboxing of a parcel that I've received from Simone, who is Aufhebgesellschaft here on Instagram. She is a sewist and a knitter. She has joined in Magic 3 Mile several times, and also with STASHVENT. So she has sent a present for the STASHVENT prices. So I'm gonna open this as my unboxing. for this episode. Yeah, I'm super happy because Simona in 2022 now, this year again, joined in the STASHVENT swap as well. And look, it's a little... Oh, she sent some stamped fabrics for me. Oh, thank you, Simona. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god. This is like my dream. This is like my dream home. I wish I was there today. And this one. Ace of Spades. I love playing cards. Oh, and God, look at this. Snoozy Dreams. Oh, they'll definitely have to go into my family quilt, which I am like slowly working on. Maybe this should be the center one of all the image stamp. Thank you so much, Simona. And this is the price. I'm gonna carefully open it so I can reseal it. So Magic 3 Mile, we always collect lots of goodies and prizes in our community as well. So there's always lots of really nice goodies. Oh, look. It's a little quilting box set with, oh my god, this illustration, Simona. It's a lovely illustration to get you going with your little hand-sewn quilt. It's a little mini quilt set. Oh, it's so cute. Oh my god. Gorgeous, Simona. Someone will be so chuffed. And you've even included the little thread and a little sewing needle. And the beginning of a little... They're like paper... What are they called? Paper pieced squares. Little cross. All of these are actually pre-pieced, and then you can go for it and create your own little... Oh my god, this is so gorgeous. Thank you so much, Simona. Someone will be extremely delighted, and hopefully paper piecing a mini quilt. I thought this was the parcel that I'm awaiting from Norway, but it is actually something from England. We've got a little sponsorship for the Magic 3 Mile, and I'm very excited. So I thought I'll include this in the unboxing. I cannot include the Norway parcel, so I'll just do that in a live story, but maybe this tape already gives it away a little. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited I broke the box zipper. Look at this beautifully wrapped. One for me, one for the overall winner of Magic 3 Mile. I don't want to break the sticker. Such a cool sticker. I'm gonna fix it later, but look. I love it! Look at all the beautiful makes. Pom-Pom. The mini Pom. Pom-Pom has published a mini issue, so it's pint-sized goodies, and I definitely want in it this little pig. And there is a sweater in here that I'm gonna cast on ASAP. And I'm so excited that I get to send one to the overall Magic 3 Mile 2022 winner. 1st of December is our last day, so I guess after this podcast is all like finish those flat lays. Oh, finish those sets and make those flat lays. This goes in a box with amazing goodies like handmade mini quilts, a little set of how to make your own little handmade quilt of paper pieced pieces. There's a Yarnchix calendar, a bit like this is Yarnchix calendar 2022, but the new one will be in the box for the overall winner. And you know, all the amazing goodies that have arrived and will still be arriving. There is something coming from France and something coming from Norway still, and it's gonna be a huge box of surprises for someone. You can watch back previous episodes with some unboxing, but for now, thank you so much Pom Pom for sponsoring our Magic 3 Mile. I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm gonna wind the mini skein now just to have something visually to fade out with, like framed with my last harvest from the balcony. I've just made the balcony winterproof because we've had snow this weekend and there's still snow out there. It's a bit melted-y and it was snowing again earlier, but nothing is really lasting. But I realized I had to take down my green tomatoes and make a green tomato chutney, which I will surely write about in my newsletter. And I've got the last of the mint that I keep on the balcony. I'm making a nut roast tonight and I know I need mint for that. So that'll be a good thing to have. Plus I've got the 6 beans that grew on my balcony this year. I always plant beans right outside of my desk. So when I'm sitting down at my desk or editing or something, then I can look up and I've got this kind of green wall of blooming bean plants and tomatoes and a bit of mint. So when I go out, it actually smells really nice. It's a really nice little peaceful environment, minus the busy traffic, which you always hear in my podcast, and I apologize about all the sirens and street noise. It's just what you're gonna get in the middle of wedding in Berlin. And yeah, so I'm gonna save these. I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 5 beans, so that's 5 plants for next year. They're fire beans, so they bloom in this really beautifully orange red. I'm gonna enjoy that. So they're gonna be part of the winding scene. I bid you farewell. Thank you for jumping back for the little unboxing at the end of my podcast with the knit reportage, and have a really good day.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell